Now at 10, Four States Motor Complex hosts its annual Motor Road Mayhem event in Neosho. Plus, Kansas City Chiefs fans gather at Pitt State for KC Family Day. And local veterans are honored by receiving dream flights from a nonprofit.
The Four States Most Watched News starts now.
This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Amber Jenkins. Motor Road Mayhem hosted its annual motor show this weekend in Neosho. It's the third year of the Motor Road Mayhem Truck Show, but this is the first year that the Motor Road Mayhem is held at the Four States Motor Complex and under new management. Motor Road Mayhem lasted from Friday through Sunday. However, a rain shower the night before Friday's show shook up some plans.
We've had 4 months to prepare this show. My partner and I previously bought this show back in October off of Robbie from Keg Media. He's the original starter of this show 2 years ago. Real good friend of mine, and since this was my hometown, he wanted me to have the show.
Motor Road Mayhem is expected to return next year at Four States Motor Complex. The Second Generation and Sanctified Tribe Motorcycle Ministry today hosted its second annual Paul Richardson Memorial Blessing of the Bikes in Neosho. The event included Sunday morning services, a bike blessing, food vendors, and live music by the Second Generation. Officials say proceeds in the event will benefit the Sanctified Tribe Motorcycle Ministry.
This is our second annual Paul Richardson Memorial Blessing of the Bikes. We just want to offer safety for the riders of the area. It's really kind of an awareness for the community as well that we can offer to let people be aware that motorcycles are on the road, especially more now than ever with the beautiful weather and the cost of gas and everything else.
The event was open to the public and it wrapped up at 2 p.m. Lucky aviators in Miami today got to experience their dream flight thanks to a local nonprofit. Dream Flights is a nonprofit organization that honors military veterans and seniors by providing them with an opportunity to fly in a Boeing Stearman biplane. Officials with the organization collects and preserves the stories of these heroes and shares them to remind us of our shared humanity, our shared connection to each other, and the value of listening.
Dream Flights is a nonprofit organization founded in 2011. Our main mission is to give back to those who gave. Take them up for a quick 15-minute flight and let them enjoy the sights and the scenery and just get reconnected with their youth. And that's our way to give back. That's our small way to show our appreciation for what they've done for our country.
The foundation was established in 2011 by Daryl and Carol Fisher out of their love for the aviation world. Kansas Chief fans had the opportunity to meet a special guest from the Red Kingdom. Victory Life Church in Pittsburgh, Kansas today hosted KC Family Day, featuring a visit from the one and only Casey Wolf. Casey Wolf and Gus from Pitt State signed autographs and played football with the attendees. The first 500 kids received a free t-shirt.
Meeting Casey Wolf and him passing the football around to us. Was it like Patrick Mahomes? I'm surprised that's not him.
The thing that made today so fun was getting to meet the Casey Wolf, and now it's really fun to be able to get a signed autograph from the Casey Wolf. My favorite part was getting pictures with Gus and Casey Wolf and getting an autograph.
My favorite part about today was getting to play football because I got to play with Casey Wolf.
The event began at 11 a.m. and ended at 3 p.m. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us for the first look at weather.
All right, and it was a pretty hot day across the area with temperatures in the upper 80s once again this afternoon near record levels. We did have some thunderstorms earlier this morning, but those rapidly moved up to the north and east and away from us, and now we're just left with mostly fair skies. We did get around 1/10 of an inch with some of those showers this morning. Heavier amounts over near Greenfield where they picked up around 7/10 of some precipitation. Storms are now going on in northern Texas with some warnings there, but a bigger complex of storms across northern Kansas tonight. That's going to sail to the south and east and maybe clip our northern viewing counties later on tonight and in the morning hours as we see temperatures dropping through the 70s. And here's that chance of storms in the early morning up to the north with a low of 67. Looking down the lane, we have morning thunderstorms on tap for the forecast, as well as isolated afternoon storms above normal temperatures, but a gradual cool down as well. And I'll tell you more about that in just a little while.
Coronation weekend is still in full swing in the UK. King Charles III was crowned yesterday amidst much pomp and circumstance. CBS News correspondent Ian Lee reports on what's next from outside Buckingham Palace in London.
God save the King! God save the King!
Those words are still echoing across the UK as the country keeps celebrating a new monarch. For the second day, Brits are filling the streets, but today is dedicated to parties and coronation communal lunches.
As a former French teacher, I've been obsessed with monarchy and things, and I think that no one does it like the Brits, and it's such a great experience to see kind of history, living history right now in action.
Tonight, a crowd of about 20,000 will witness in person a nationally televised concert at Windsor Castle. It features star singers including Katy Perry, Andrea Bocelli, and Lionel Richie. Yesterday, the coronation ceremony of King Charles III and his wife Queen Camilla brought celebrities, dignitaries, and the youngest members of the family to Westminster Abbey. Thousands of royal fans braved the rain and cold to line the procession route.
Most of us grow up on fairy tales about princes and princesses and kings and queens, so it feels like we've been a part of it, even though we've been a long way away.
Not everyone here buys into the fairy tale. About 2,000 anti-monarchists protested.
The economy's falling apart and the public services are awful, and we need to invest in that and not in Charles and his big party.
But for the majority, the festivities continue tomorrow with what's being called the Big Help Out, a national holiday dedicated to volunteerism. Ian Lee, CBS News, Buckingham Palace.
Coming up, new details about a gunman suspected in a deadly mass shooting at a mall in Allen, Texas. Plus, we'll take a look at how one state is a step closer to new gun laws. New details are emerging about the gunman suspected in a deadly mass shooting Saturday at a mall in Allen, Texas. CBS News' Ken Molinta reports from Allen.
On Sunday, mourners built a makeshift memorial for the victims at the Allen Premium Outlets. The day before, a gunman pulled up in a sedan and began shooting at people, killing 8 and wounding several more. Multiple sources telling CBS News Texas the gunman has been identified as Mauricio Garcia and that he had no serious criminal record. An Allen police officer who happened to be nearby killed the shooter moments into the deadly rampage. Police say likely saving lives. Authorities did not immediately provide details about the victims as local and federal authorities investigate.
We know you are grieving. We are grieving. Rest assured, the nation and the world are also grieving.
Stephen Spainhauer, whose son works at the mall, says he got to the scene before first responders and tried to save people.
I never imagined in 100 years I would be thrust into the position of being the first responder on the site to take care of people.
Shoppers there at the time of the massacre recalled hiding in various locations as the mall ordered everyone to shelter in place.
It was scary. I mean, anybody would be scared when they hear gunshots and they just don't know what's going on.
News helicopters capturing aerial footage that showed hundreds of people leaving the mall in the tragedy's aftermath. Ken Molestina, CBS News, Allen, Texas.
Vermont is one step closer to a new gun laws. Last week, the Senate passed the Gun Violence Prevention Bill. Under the legislation, there will be a 72-hour waiting period for firearm sales. It will also institute a negligent storage provision and expand the extreme risk protection orders. Supporters say these measures will reduce the rates of both homicides and suicide by firearms, but opponents say it violates the Second Amendment. A little later, the search for lifeguards take off as the summer season approaches.
And it certainly felt like summer out there with temperatures in the upper 80s to lower 90s. Is it going to stick around? Well, I'll have the answer when we come back. Well, folks, it certainly felt more like June today than May with temperatures in the upper 80s to lower 90 degrees. Right now at Seneca, Missouri, you can see that as we started out the day, we had some clouds this morning, but then they rapidly eroded as the afternoon progressed with bright sunny skies, and then more clouds developed this afternoon And then as we headed towards sunset, those clouds cleared out as well, so no precipitation this afternoon across our area. We've been watching the allergies. They've been on the increase, and they're going to increase again tomorrow. 9.3 today, 10.7 tomorrow. Most of that mulberry, oak, and grasses. This afternoon, we made it up to 85 in Joplin, which was only 3 degrees away from the record set back in 1962, and we're about 4 inches behind on the rainfall so far this year. Hopefully we're going to catch up on that in the coming days. Temperatures this afternoon were not only warm here in Joplin, but check out to the west. 89 in Yates Center and Garnett and Fredonia, as well as Chinook for some of the warmest readings. And then off to the east, they were a little bit cooler with temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s. And right now, pretty much everyone is in the 70s, 78 in Fredonia, 78 in Bartlesville, and off to the east, a little bit cooler in Monette, where they're currently sitting at 73 degrees. Radar is clear right now in our immediate area, but not too far away up in northern Kansas near Concordia and also St. Joseph, Missouri. A complex of storms developing there. That's going to be moving to the south and east, and it may clip our northern counties later on tonight. But we're going to have to wait for a bigger push of energy out to the west to get a little bit closer to us before we really start to see widespread showers and storms across areas. So in the meantime, they're going to be isolated to scattered. Right now in Joplin, it's 75, south-southwest wind at 15, and it's pretty humid out there with a humidity of 73%. And in Pittsburgh, it's 74 right now, and their humidity is at 88%, but because the dew point is up there at 70 degrees, so it's very muggy out there. Ridge of high pressure is going to start breaking down over the next few days. That's going to allow that big storm system on the west coast to get a little bit closer to us and spit pieces of energy at us. And as they come rolling by, that's when we'll see those thunderstorms, especially in the overnight hours and in the early morning, much like what we had this morning. Tomorrow, the severe weather risk is going to be just to our east on towards Indianapolis and western parts of Kentucky. And then as we go into Tuesday, I think that's when the better chance of severe weather might be in our area, especially the western sections. And some of those storms could sneak over into our area as we head through the overnight hours on Tuesday night. All right, tonight we're going to see that complex of storms rolling down to the south and east. You can see this is about 4 o'clock in the morning, rolling through Fort Scott and Nevada with temperatures in the 70s. Then that rapidly pulls off to the east, lows in the 60s, and then tomorrow, partly cloudy skies with highs once again in the mid-80s. There will be a front in the area, but it's very weak. Not really going to expect to do a whole lot until tomorrow night into early Tuesday morning. That's when we see a better chance of storms with lows in the 60s. Then Tuesday afternoon, the boundary is still in the area with isolated storms in the afternoon with highs in the 80s. And then as we go into Tuesday night and Wednesday, a bigger push of air moving down from the north and west might spark more thunderstorms with lows in the 60s for your Wednesday. Rainfall amounts are going to be most plentiful up towards the north and west, but everyone by Thursday at 11 o'clock should be around an inch or so, lesser amounts down to the south and east. Over the next 7 days, several chances of showers and storms. I know it looks busy on the map there, but it's not going to be everywhere all the time, but we do want to include the chances of scattered showers and storms with highs in the 70s and 80s and lows in the 60s.
Well, thank you for that forecast. Recent summer light weather has many of us thinking about pool season, but Metro pools are struggling to find lifeguards. Adam Duxter shows us that the race is on to find someone who's qualified.
At Elm Creek Swim Pond in Maple Grove,
we get busy. We have a lot of people that love this park.
It's just 3 weeks to showtime.
On a weekend, I would say maybe like 200 to 300 people at the beach at a given time.
Staffing that takes 9 lifeguards at a time, and finding a full staff of 25 isn't easy.
It's definitely a race. Everybody wants to get fully staffed.
Elm Creek, along with the city of Minneapolis, are even offering now to pay for training for anyone looking to apply.
It's extremely challenging. Since COVID in 2020, our numbers in lifeguards have really gone down, and there's been a nationwide and statewide shortage.
Even after upping starting pay to $17 an hour, Minneapolis still has 50 to 60 spots to fill. In Ramsey County, pay starts at $19 an hour. They're hoping that's enough to fill the additional 20 spots they've got in the next month.
Just a couple years ago, we were in the $11, maybe $12 an hour range, so it's been a pretty substantial increase to try and entice people and compete in this competitive job market. It's significantly better than when I was looking for summer employment.
You can come out in the summer, get a great tan, meet some great people, and have a fun time working. And the biggest thing is you make a difference.
Still ahead, the Missouri Southern Lions softball team is competing in the MIAA championship game. and the Pittsburgh State Gorillas face elimination. We'll go over the highlights from today's game in sports.
Well, Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State both face elimination in the first round of the MIAA tournament coming into Sunday. A win for both teams sends them to Warrensburg for the semifinals next week. A loss keeps them at home, wondering when they'll play their next game in the NCAA Regionals. We'll start things off in Pittsburgh. Series is tied between the Gorillas and the Central Oklahoma Broncos. First inning, 1-0 UCO. Jake Grauberger hits this ball in the vacation far away. 3-run homer puts Pittsburgh State up 3-1. So we head to the second inning now. 5-3 Pittsburgh State. MIAA Player of the Year Nixon Brandon rips us into left field. RBI single makes it 6-3 Gorillas. Bottom of the third, 6-5 Gorillas. Austin Warkins unloads deep to right field. Take a good look, you won't see it for long. 3-run walk bomb makes it 9-5 Pittsburgh State, and they are moving on. Gorillas eliminate Central Oklahoma, winning today's game 14-8. Pittsburgh State takes on Central Missouri next week in Warrensburg. So let's take a look into Joplin now. Same situation, Missouri Southern Lions facing the Newman Jets in the elimination game. Bottom of the fifth inning, game's tied 1-1. Ethan Clark drives this over the second baseman's head. 2-run score. Clark turns it into a double. Lions take a 3-1 lead. Bottom of the sixth now. Same score. Drew Davis hits it high. He hits it deep, and it stays in the park, rolling away from outfielders. And so Garrett Rice will come home to score, and he will step on home plate with some authority. Lions fired up. RBI triple by Davis makes it 4-1 Southern. Later in the inning, 6-1 Lions. Nate Meskowski puts this one to bed, and you can put it on the board. Yes, Lions are now up 8-1. So we head to the ninth inning now. 8-4 Southern. Leif Holtein slams the door shut. Called strike 3. Ball game. Lions are moving on. They defeat the Newman Jets by a final score of 8-4. Missouri Southern takes on Northeastern State next week in Warrensburg.
Trent Harris had a really good start for us. He did what we needed him to do. We were not great offensively this weekend until the scoreboard says until the 6th or the 7th inning. So credit to Newman. It was a hard-fought series. They played great. We just had a little more at the end.
A good team win. This whole weekend we haven't been hitting that well, and today we pretty much put it together. Had some good swings and big moments, and it's a good overall team win. I knew it was gone. I hit it pretty well. I mean, it was my first ball I've barreled all weekend, so it felt good to get that.
Well, it's Championship Sunday in the MIAA softball tournament. Missouri Southern's looking for their first win in the MIAA tournament championship since 2001. Sunday was not the best day for Missouri Southern. Lions lose to Central Oklahoma 11-4. Missouri Southern played 5 games in 3 days. Certainly that played a huge factor. Lions played doubleheaders on Friday and Saturday. Central Oklahoma, on the other hand, did not have to play a doubleheader the entire tournament. However, Katie Gray went 2 for 3 with 2 solo home runs in the game. Kara Amos also homered in this game. She finishes the day going 2 for 3 with a pair of RBIs. Lions will now wait and see where they will be placed in the NCAA Regionals. Well, there haven't been many bright spots this year for the Royals or the Cardinals this season. One team has the worst record in the American League and the other has the worst record in the National League. Royals and A's series finale at Kauffman Stadium. Salvador Perez, get the tape measure out. 462 feet to left field, solo bomb, 1-0 Royals. Fourth inning now, game tied 1-1. Michael Garcia off the end of the bat, plops right into left center field. Royals regain the lead up 2-1. So we head to the 8th inning. Same score, Nick Prado at the plate puts this game on ice. That one will roll all the way to the wall, and as we see here, 1 run will score and 2 runs will score. Royals go up 4-1. Kansas City avoids the sweep, and they beat the Athletics 5-1. On the other side of the state in Busch Stadium, Tigers at Cardinals, first inning, reigning National League MVP Paul Goldschmidt. That ball is long gone. 1-0 Redbirds. The early in the first. To the third inning now, 2-0 St. Louis. Goldie again, deep to center field. Riley Green is out of room, and it's out of here. Second home run of the day for Goldschmidt. 3-0 Cardinals. To the sixth inning now, St. Louis up 3-2. Tigers have been scrappy all weekend. Jake Rogers, nothing scrappy about that. Grand slamma-jamma. Grand slam gives Detroit a 6-3 lead. So we go to the eighth inning now. Cards up 10-6. Paul Goldschmidt, can he do it again? Of course he can. That's what MVPs are supposed to do. Upper tank to Big Mac land. It's a hat trick. Third homer of the day for Goldschmidt. St. Louis avoids a sweep and beats Detroit 12-6. That'll be it with sports tonight. We'll be back after this.
Babies in the NICU at Ascension St. Thomas Hospital Midtown in Nashville, Tennessee got into the fan spirit for Taylor Swift concerts that are in the area recently. NQ nurses have created 10 costumes for the little fans, each in honor of one of Swift's albums. They even created an Ed Sheeran outfit, who was Taylor's longtime friend and collaborator. The hospital said our NQ babies are fearless, and they are thrilled to have a place in this world. What's going on in weather?
We have some storms later on tonight, mainly up towards the north, but we have storm chances throughout the rest of the week. And then we may be getting a little bit drier as we head towards the early part of next week, but more summer-like instead of spring-like, with temperatures in the 80s and overnight lows in the 60s, making it feel pretty humid out there.
All right, and what's going on in sports?
Well, Pittsburgh State was able to come back today and pick up the victory. They'll head to Warrensburg, taking on Central Missouri, and for Missouri Southern, they'll take on Northeastern State. So looking forward to that series next weekend.
Nice. Well, that's our time for now. Thank you for making us a part of your night.